Oh, are we clipping anything? It's a little tight.
That's fine.
Just don't get too loud.
Yeah, it's fine. Welcome back,
Adam. That's clipping it.
Welcome back to the See This Guy Scotchman podcast.
Silver,
We're back. We're back. Hey guys,
it's been 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks. Was I on the last episode? No, right?
Yeah, you were.
Was I?
Yeah, the last time we were.
Right.
Last
Regional
episode
Dice
was the
too good.
Our regional dice too good,
and we proved it today.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a tease
Well,
for
yeah,
later on.
Yeah.
But
First up, let's
yeah.
catch up on some articles.
Are we going to talk about? Do you want me to talk about Seattle first, or do you
No.
want to go right into the articles?
We got a good segue with that. So
Cool. So
well,
it's been a little bit. Thanks, thanks so much for coming back weirdly every couple of weeks when we post shit. We appreciate it.
Sure.
We got some fun stuff in store. I got an interview from Seattle when I was there, but yeah, we got some articles.
It's just the one article.
Well, we're gonna jump right into the hashtag content.
To the Naboo Starfighter article that came out 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So
people don't like that I scroll my mouse wheel, so I gotta.
Yeah, I've never really made a comment, but I've always been like, it's kind of loud. I wonder if it picks up.
Fuck it.
All
All right, we got Rick Ole.
So we're gonna jump right in. Rick Ole. I'm very excited about this pilot. There's
Initiative 5.
Two pilots, especially in this pack, that I'm very excited
His
for.
Bravo leader.
Bravo leader. While you defend or perform a primary attack, if the speed of your revealed maneuver is higher than the enemy ships, roll one additional die. Oof. That can be very good.
Yeah, and it's got the full throttle that they've all have.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before.
And go through this. I think there might be a droid or something.
They talk about Daredevil, Anakin, but like we've talked about Anakin before, right?
I think so, but also again the
passive sensors.
The art on all this is great.
Okay, so let's talk about Rick Ole before we get too far away. What do you think about him?
I think he's good. I think he could be extremely good. The fact that the chassis on these are just 2-2, like 2 attack, 2 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you roll up
3 hull, 2 shields
on a first round engagement. You roll in on a 4 forward and get that focus evade, and then you're rolling 4 dice at range 1. It's not bad.
Yeah, if you're like 5 forwarding into them and they did like a 4.
Well, like, again, you
or
can,
anything,
or you're doing your 3 Talon rolls, or you're doing
given they do a slower maneuver
again.
Yeah,
100%. I think there's
Well, if you do a Talon roll, you're not getting the focus evade.
No, but you're still getting that extra die, which is good, right?
I think Naboo Starfighter is going to be really good.
I don't know about really good. I think they're not going to be
real
meta breaking,
good.
but I think they're going to be strong. But just they are limited by the fact that they only have 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice.
They have a little picture showing Anakin barrel rolling, moving, barrel rolling.
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Hell yeah!
Passive sensors is or sensor slot, I guess.
Yeah.
Action, spend 1 charge. It comes with 1 charge recurring. You can only perform this action in your perform action step. While your charge is inactive, you cannot be coordinated before you engage. If your charge is inactive, you may perform a calculate or target lock action.
So you basically just spend that to...
Okay, the best time it's going to be for is a ship that... a low pilot skill ship, like that wants to move in and then target lock an ace that moves in afterwards. So basically, it'll be good for like... do bombers even have system slots? I don't think they do. But
I think so.
Punishers do, so we could be good on like low initiative Punishers.
Yep.
K-Wings?
I definitely think that there is a...
Do K-Wings have a sensor slot?
They do, but again, a lot of what I want to do with the K-Wings, at least for me, is taking focus, not target locks.
So. I think it's fine.
Could be good. Could be fine. So there's then, how do you say?
Denis Elbringer.
Elberger.
Jesus, I love Elbergers.
Elbergers.
Initiative 3, Bravo 5.
While you defend or perform an attack, if the speed of your revealed maneuver is the same as the enemy ships, that ship's dice can't be modified.
That's potentially good.
There's potentially 2 Omega Leaders. There are 2 Omega Leaders in this pack of ships. There's this, and we'll get to the other one. Could be good. Anything that allows you to not allow your opponent to modify dice.
I think so. The Rick Ole, whatever. He's way more consistent than Denny.
Yep.
She, I'm assuming.
Yes, I would assume so.
I don't know. I'm not sold on her.
This is the one that will make Rick Ole pretty fucking good.
R2A6.
After you reveal your dial, you may set your dial to a maneuver of the same bearing of a speed 1 higher or lower.
Yeah.
Oof.
Actually, that'll be really good on not Padme, I jump forward. That will be really good on Denis as well.
Denis as well, yeah.
Just to make sure you match.
And just put Juke on all of these guys.
Yeah, but R2A6 is limited, so you can only have one in your list.
Yeah.
Padme.
This is the crown jewel right here for me. This is the crown jewel of this pack. Aggressive Negotiator, lol. While an enemy ship in your front arc defends or performs an attack, that ship can modify only one focus. Other results can still be modified.
Well, enemy ship. I think you just said Wallace ship.
Sorry, while an enemy ship in your front arc. But either way, it's really fucking good. This, like, I don't think they're going to be meta breakers, but they're not going to be fun to play against at all.
I like the Naboo Handmaidens.
Naboo Handmaidens are going to be good.
Initiative 1, only 2 per list. Setup. After place forces, assign the decoy condition to one other friendly ship other than Naboo Handmaiden. And which is, while you defend each Naboo Handmaiden, while you defend each friendly Naboo Handmaiden in the attack arc may spend 1 evade token to change one of your results to an evade result. If you are a Naboo starfighter, each Naboo Handmaiden in the attack arc may spend 1 evade to add 1 evade result instead.
It's good, but I have a feeling they're going to be expensive because of this.
Okay, so decoyed is limited. It says limited, so if you have 2 Naboos, can you only place 1 decoyed? I'm assuming then?
I'm assuming yes. I'm assuming, hey, the playtesting works. They thought of it.
Yeah. I really like Handmaidens, though.
I like Handmaidens. Again, I don't know how good they'll be for how expensive they are, but yeah, there's going to be some fun shit that's going to be available to you in these packs, so I am excited for sure.
Adam, let's talk about hyperspace.
Let's talk about hyperspace. You mean Seattle?
System Open, not hyperspace.
System Open.
Whoops.
Yeah.
How did you do?
I didn't do great. I did okay.
Did you do better or worse than you wanted to do?
I didn't get a Worlds invite, so I did worse than I wanted to. But, I mean, looking back at my games, I went 3-3. 3-3 on day 1. Obviously not what I wanted. I literally went loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. That was my day. But
you blamed all your dice.
No, my.
Let me pull up some chat messages where you complained about your dice hard.
Game 3, I got jobbed by that. My opponent even admitted that to me. He's like, "I'm so sorry, dude." But I mean, I had 2 losses and I was able to fight back in a couple games. And then there was that one game where I had really unfortunate crit pulls. I posted this in the group chat, in our big group chat. But there was in my 5th game. Yes, my 5th game. I had a hull breach on. This is the first round of fire. None of my guys had fire yet. It was facing a blackout, quick draw, Tavson list. Really strong, very strong. And Tavson, last one to go, and I've already got some damage on. He's got some damage on one of my K wings, and he got a hull breach on that K wing. So there's 5 hull left on him. Tavson rolls 3 hits. First damage, direct hit. Pull it for second crit. Second actual die damage, another direct hit. Pull it, get the third damage, kills him. So pull 2 direct hits to get just off of 3 hits.
It's fun.
It was good. Made that game really close. And I made a mistake at the end in terms of I was running away, but I made a mistake of which direction I was running away, and I kind of bumped myself and I lost. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I will say the guy that I lost in my game 3 was really interesting list. He actually ended up, I was really happy for him. He was a really nice dude. Ended up making top 16. Lost in the top 16 game, but fucking super happy for him. But he was playing a ship that I've now just got reintroduced to me that I realize now is actually quite good. Marvel in the A-Wing.
Yep.
His ability, super great. But he was flying Arvel in the A-Wing, Jake in the A-Wing, Nora in the Y-Wing, Lieutenant Blount, and Aaron Kraken, both in the Z95s. Real interesting list. My biggest mistake is I was overzealous with my bombs.
Sure.
And I double critted one of my own K-Wings.
Okay.
Any game that you do that, it's probably not going to end out well. But there was the first round of engagement is actually the dice were shit for both of us. I think we exchanged 1 damage each, where we probably should have had at least one of each of our lost a ship each, or a ship and a half. It was crazy. Like we were both just like, oh my god, Our dice are terrible. But no, that was a solid game. I could have pulled it out at the end. It came down to the last shot of the game, and he pulled it out on points. Again, that dude's super, super nice. Was just a fun guy to play against. But again, all in all, I was happy with my flying. There was definitely some mistakes I made throughout the day that cost me. But I mean, looking at my standings, I was able to look through because they actually use Best Coast Pairings for this. I've never used it before. It's just an app instead of printing out the matches. When Best Coast Pairing works, it's great because you can go in the app. That's where they upload the pairings. You can see your opponent's list. Yep. You can see that's where you submit everything, and you can see everything. So
that's not just X-Wing specific. It's for a lot of games.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Warhammer tournaments use that. So it's around. It's pretty cool.
It's cool, and again, when it works, it's great. But there was a few issues throughout the day. But I was looking after everything, so 3-3. I finished 46th out of 136.
Adam,
top third. I'll take it.
I'll say this. I'm sorry to say, I was hoping you would come back as a better X-Wing player than I am. But currently, I'm still the better X-Wing host.
Sure, I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you.
So, how does it feel to be in my boots, as it were?
Let me finish. So I was 3-3, but my MOV. So the next guy, I was the highest placing 3-3.
Yep.
The guy who was 4-2, one space above me, I had 500 more MOV than him. The next person who was closest to me in MOV was 20th. Which makes, for me, that means I did as well as I possibly could have. I just made mistakes and probably had some poor dice luck along the way.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Knowing that, looking at that, I was really happy with that. I'm going to continue to fly 4K wings. I think there's room for me to improve there, and I think there's room for that to keep getting better, or me to keep placing better at least with it.
Sure.
But obviously it's extended only. So yeah, and then day 2 on the side event, I fucked up, and because of the system open in hyperspace qualifiers on day 2 were introduced in 1.0 for the system opens. For whatever reason, I thought that the why do I look like I'm so quiet? I'm like,
it's fine. You're fine.
Okay,
you'll be fine when it actually is listened
for
to.
some reason, I thought day 2 is extended, but no, of course it isn't. It's hyperspace format.
Yeah.
So the only list I had with me was the double Aether Sprite, so Mace, Anakin, and double Torrents. I had never flown it before. I was like, sure, why not? And I flew that. I lost my first game.
You said?
No, we did. I didn't get a chance to stay for my last game.
3-1.
So 3-1. So because everyone
was only 5 games then.
Yeah. Okay. So it's usually 6 games. It was 5 just because of time constraints in the venue and all of that.
Okay.
By the way, that venue in Redmond, the DigiPen Technology Center, awesome. Super comfy chairs, air conditioned. Good. The food options weren't great. I will say that. There was 2 food trucks on day 1.
I heard about that on stream.
Yeah, there was 2 food trucks on day 1, and they were both extremely overwhelmed. And it took really long to get food. And on day 2, there was only 1 food truck, and it was and by the time I finished my game, it was like it was a 20-minute wait to get food, and I only had 20 minutes to eat.
Sure.
So I was like, fuck it. So I didn't actually eat anything, which I realized after because it was game 1 and then break.
Yeah.
So I realized apparently I play better when I'm hungry.
Sure.
Laser focused.
Maybe.
Because I lost my first game. That one, I will say, was real unfortunate for me. I definitely made some mistakes in my approach. I didn't actually end up killing any of his ships. I only got half on one of his arcs.
Yep.
But halfway through the game, my opponent was like, "Do you want to share dice, man?" I was like, "Oh God." But I ended up losing that game, so obviously didn't get that World's Invite there. But won my next 3, and I won 2 of them pretty convincingly. One of them was actually one of them was pretty close, but
it's good.
Happy with it. We had one of our guys 2 guys make top 16. Sorry, 3 guys. 3 guys from Vancouver make top 16.
One made top 8,
and one of them made top 8.
Was Nick made top 8?
Nick Desikara. Oh no, sorry, Patrick Steiche. Steiche, is that how you pronounce his last name? Whatever. Patrick, who drove down with me, he made top 8. Got his World's Invite. Congrats. So he's joining Kalen at Worlds.
And Devin.
Devin's
going.
Devin. I was talking just in terms of the Vancouver guys. But
Devin's like almost second. He's second tier host on this podcast. He's been on enough.
Sure, but he's not a Vancouverite.
Yeah, so fuck him.
Fuck him. And then on day 2, Sean LeBlanc won. He went 5-0, and it was really unfortunate because it was Sean versus Dan, who both of them are from Vancouver, in the last game to go see who was 5-0
to get a Worlds invite.
To get a Worlds invite, so 2 guys from Vancouver had to play one another, which is unfortunate. But he got a World invite, so we got 3 people going now. From Vancouver at least, and then again there's more from out east.
Yep.
So there's going to be a decent contingent of Canadians that will be attending the event. I am actually going to be going to Worlds.
You're actually okay? Are you saying that on air? You're committed.
I'm going to Worlds. I was going to go to Nationals, but I think it's honestly going to be cheaper for me to go to fucking Worlds.
Maybe
because flying across to Ontario is going to be more expensive than flying to Minnesota.
Yeah, driving down to across the border.
We're gonna see that's what I want to do is fly out of Birmingham.
Yeah,
but I don't know if the other guys will want to do that. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
it'll be a lot cheaper.
Me and then the other person who's wanting to go to Worlds from Vancouver who didn't get an invite is Sebastian, who also made top 16.
Is he just going to hang out or
no? So they announced. We didn't talk about this on the last podcast because they hadn't announced it yet. They announced the Last Chance tournament.
Oh, right, the day before Worlds.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get because there's 400 seats. I'm assuming there's gonna be enough for everybody because I don't know if 400 people will be able to attend, but they go on sale soon. I would assume probably in the next couple weeks. Probably.
When is Worlds? October?
Yeah. So I would assume in the next kind of month or so they would go on sale.
Maybe we'll see.
But I am planning on doing that Last Chance event. Top 64. All get Worlds invites.
Yep.
The hope would be is that you go to that event, you get top 64, and then you get slotted into day 2 of Swiss instead of day 1, so you're not having to play 2 days back to back.
Yeah.
And you get a day break before having to play those Swiss games.
I would still love for Worlds to not be Swiss and be brackets.
Sure.
Tournament. I just love bracketed tournaments a lot. I don't know how people would be happy about that.
But the only reason
then if you lose twice, you're out.
You're out, right? So but it's essentially the same thing in Swiss. If you lose twice, you're probably not making day 2.
Sure, but at least if you lose twice in Swiss, you still have 4 more games you can play.
Right.
But I guess if you're out, you can just play with other people. Who cares?
So again, the plan is going to Worlds. Sebastian and I don't have Worlds invites, but we're planning on going
and getting one,
and hopefully getting one. We'll see. Top 64 seems doable, but if I don't get a Worlds invite, I'm just gonna go hang out. There's apparently gonna be some side events. I've never been to Minnesota.
You can get interviews.
I can, and that's gonna be the other thing. I'm gonna try to get a bunch of interviews and see if Dion will let me come on stream because all the good players will be playing. I'll see if I can pester him enough.
Listen. He doesn't listen to this podcast, but if he did, I would say don't fucking let him on stream.
Well, maybe that's a good segue, because
you want to segue into having an interview with him?
I was able to have a quick 7-minute sit-down in between games with Dion and chat just about him, Gold Squadron, what his plan for the future is. We also talked about the day, the meta, or what we've been seeing in terms of lists.
Sure.
Before we go into that, though, just to wrap up the Seattle final, kind of what happened there. The final table was Andrew Bunn versus Daniel Taylor. If for people in our community, if you don't know, if Daniel Taylor's name doesn't ring a bell, it probably should. He's a 3-time Imperial Assault World Champion. He's the bane of Paul Heaver, from what I understand.
Sure.
And he just started going to major X-Wing tournaments and was a finalist at Phoenix. The
Imperial
Phoenix
Assault's done. They're not releasing any new content.
They're not? Okay, so that's probably why he's moved over to X-Wing.
Yeah.
He went to the Phoenix System Open and came second. Made final tables. Very good at these types of games. He won. So Bunn was flying Soontir, Vinder, and Jendon.
Yep.
Lists that I feel like Mark would be very happy about.
Potentially.
Versus Rebel Beef.
Shocking Rebel Beef.
Shocking.
I was Andrew Bunn. I know also you don't listen, but I was rooting for you.
I wasn't able to grab an interview with Andrew. Him and I chatted about it, but I mean, I didn't really feel like he wanted to.
Do you never want to interview someone who came in second?
Yeah, I'm like, well,
he's been on our podcast before.
Well, I actually spoke to him about that.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, I'll try to grab an interview with you later. He was like, oh, so I'll actually get to be on the podcast instead of interrupting you guys randomly. I was like, yeah. I mean, I probably doesn't listen, but I mean, he at least remembers that.
You were like, he remembers me.
Well, he remembers interrupting. But
Senpai noticed me.
He was a good sport about it. Andrew's a good guy. He, again, watching the game, he admitted he made some unfortunate mistakes, and then had a couple whiffs on some proton rockets, or sorry, on some missiles. So.
I think it was I forget who it was. I think it was Andrew who rolled, but he rolled 3 natty crits. It might have been in that game, or it might have been in one of the previous games.
Maybe. But
I just saw that and I was like, oh man, that must feel so good.
I actually rolled 3 natty crits.
Here's the thing, I think he rolled 3 natty crits, and the opponent rolled 3 natty evades.
Actually, that happened to me too.
It's the worst feeling when something like that happens.
On my 5th game in day 2, I rolled 3 natty crits, and like Judge came by because one of the judges I made kind of friends with because he had been coming by me, like acknowledging how shit my dice were throughout day 1. Yeah. And I was like, I rolled 3 crits. He's like, that's amazing. And then the guy rolled, and he rolled 3 natty evades. He's like, oh, I'm like, fuck it, that happens.
Yeah.
But hey, congrats to Daniel Taylor. He's got his trip to Worlds. I mean, Bun is going to Worlds. That was never in question, I don't think. But it was an interesting final to watch. Everyone down there at Redmond was great. Met a lot of really nice people, locals especially. I've never been to Redmond, so it was nice just to kind of see the area. But also, side note, Uber is fucking great.
Is it?
It's so easy, dude.
Sure.
It is the easiest thing. For those who don't know, Vancouver doesn't have Uber. We are the only province in Canada, I believe, who don't have Uber.
Is that the case? I don't know.
I'm fairly certain. But it's one of those things that Uber is so much more efficient than taking taxis, and I took Uber everywhere. That's an aside, but yeah. So I guess we can go right in now to my interview with Tion.
So we're gonna go to the interview, and then we're gonna have a quick message from another great, fantastic Canadian content provider, ex-Canadian X-Wing content provider, X-Wing content.
Yep.
And we'll be back after that for the rest of the show.
All right, I'm here at the System Open in Seattle, and I'm joined by Dion Morales, host of the Gold Squadron podcast.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello. So thank you so much for taking some time to chat. We're just ending round 4. Yep. You've been watching all the games so far on stream. Mm-hmm. What have you seen so far? What have you liked from today?
So I've for today, I've been trying to get lots of different new type of lists out there that we haven't seen. Sure, if I just went through all the X and O games, they would be, a bunch of Quad Phantoms and Rebel Beef. We know that that's good. Yep. But I've been exploring the X and 1 bracket and have found a lot of people trying variations on some of the good lists, and also just trying some weird stuff. We actually just had Daniel Lim win his game pretty handily, flying 2 ARC 170s, the 104th Wolf and Luminara. Really good list. I actually hadn't seen it on the board before. He had mentioned it to me before, and I was like, I don't understand how it plays, and I got to see it. I'm like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more Republic.
Yep.
Not a ton of Separatists today.
Nope.
At all. Your usual suspects, like you said, the Phantoms and Rebel Beef. For my games, I haven't played either of those so far. It's been a lot of Aces today. I've seen a lot of Imperial Aces. But this is the last System Open in the U.S., correct?
So last one in the U.S.
Last big travel event for you in the U.S. this season, other than going to Europe.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, we're doing some. I'm still doing a couple of hyperspace trials in smaller areas, so they might be big miles wise, but like premier event. Yeah, this is the last premier event until Gen Con.
Gen Con. Okay.
I think. Right? Is that the next big one? Yeah, Gen Con.
Cool. And you're going. I'm assuming you're going to do some streaming at Worlds. If that's not confirmed or anything yet.
So I can't confirm it, but
the hope.
Probably, maybe. We'll see. Tune in.
Cool. And because you got to play through some System Opens or Hyperspace this year?
I got to play in the Toronto System Open. That's the only one I've been able to do. Hyperspace. Yep. Excuse me, not Hyperspace wise. System Open wise. Got top 16 there. It was super fun.
Nice.
Flew Quad Phantoms. No shame. I have my templates. You can rip them out of my cold dead hands.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't really shooting for a Worlds invite, mostly because my priority is to make sure that I can cover the event, not to play. So
right. And how have you been finding it? Because obviously you're coming to these events most of the time by yourself. Travel-wise, all of it. That's a lot of time for you to put into this.
Yep.
And I've heard you mention before that, I mean, do you think there's a potential for you to have this be a full-time gig?
Oh, full-time. I mean, maybe. So there's a couple of things in place that are not related to X-Wing that might make it a possibility. So for instance, I live in a 2-flat. I own a 2-flat. Okay. And I rent out the first floor. So that right there has some financial security, because the reality is that right now I'm putting almost a majority of the money that comes into buying new equipment, into travel. So profitability is quite low, right? So it's a big maybe right now. I do love my teaching job, and it's one of those where it's more of a time issue. There's so many more things I want to do and want to plan for X-Wing stuff. Right. And there will be a point where it's like I'm going to have to choose
one or the other.
And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm leaving X-Wing, but I mean something's got to give.
Is there a point where, because I mean is there other people that you can get to come do these for you, or?
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect transition. So the very first time I'm going to have somebody kind of not take my place, but help me out. Yeah. It's actually Will Haygood, one of my co-hosts from the podcast, for Nova Open. He's actually going to be covering the Nova Open because it's the same quote-unquote day. It's not actually the same day, but same weekend as the Australian System Open that I'm going to be covering. So the way the time code works out, the time zones, if I have it right in my mind, it's essentially going to be almost 48 hours in a row of streaming, because he'll be doing Nova Open, and then the Australian System Open will come on, and then back to the cut of Nova Open, and then the cut of the Australian Open.
So if you don't feel like sleeping, you got something to watch.
Absolutely. 48 hours straight, Gold Squadron podcast. Let's make it happen.
And Australia will finally get their time in the sun.
That's right.
Even though it's always sunny down there.
That's right.
And then, other than also the plan for you is Europe this year.
Yeah.
How is that going? Because I know there's obviously you're trying to get some fundraising going for that.
Yeah. So that's my trip is paid for.
Okay.
My trip is paid for, but Team USA right now is trying to. I'm helping them out, trying to get the awareness out there. They have a GoFundMe where they're just trying to gather up the funds. It's expensive to go abroad, and the lighter the load, the better. And they're offering, and I'm helping them out with some different prizes and things like that. I can have you guys put the link in the description if you guys want it.
That would be great.
Check it out. We're including Team USA T-shirts. Even you guys up in Canada, if you want a Team USA T-shirt, if you want me to Sharpie it Canada, I'll do it for you.
Scribble down like the rolls and scrolls of a madman.
That's right. And so just having fun there, and just trying to. The X-Wing community has starting to become very global, right? Like the world is that way already with the internet, but just starting to know names and faces from people around the world and considering them friends is amazing. It's so cool.
And that's the biggest thing. Myself and my co-host Mark, we started our podcast about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's gotten us a chance to meet, just even within Canada, meeting people from all the way on the East Coast to Quebec. We've made friends with the guys on the Millennium Condor guys in Quebec, and we recorded a terrible ad for them where they wanted us to do something in English and French. And we were supposed to just say, please, if you want to listen to the CSK Squadron podcast in English, and say the same in French. But in French, instead of that, we just said, please listen. They're holding us hostage. Give them anything you want. They're going to kill us. So making those friends, and it's just nice. You're right. The X-Wing community, being as big as it is, it's nice to get to know everybody. And so, I forgot to ask as well, where in Europe is the...
It's in Krakow, Poland.
Poland, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have 2 more rounds today, and then you're obviously going to be doing the top cut tomorrow. I will not be there. I'm 2-2, so I will not be joining, but I will be playing in hyperspace tomorrow. And but again, thank you so much for making the time to chat with me in between rounds here, and we'll catch you guys soon.
No problem. Thanks for listening, guys. See the sky. Whoop whoop.
All right, bye-bye.
You think you know everything there is to know about the X-Wing game, and you like to share your overwhelming and impressive knowledge with everyone around you. A good listen of the X-Wing Lore Master Quiz is what you need to get your reality check. Hosted by the Condor of all Condors.
I am your show host, Bruno Lavigueur.
Assisted by his benevolent senior intern judge, Peter.
This is where you would normally find Peter's extensive and exhaustive rant about Bruno's mediocre hosting skills and this pathetic excuse for a podcast. But I took over. You'll thank me later.
The X-Wing Loremaster Quiz will drive in your thick skull that you don't know shit and don't have what it takes to be the Alpha X-Wing Intergalactic Loremaster 2000 until defeated.
Oh God, we're back.
Oh God.
So, okay, before we jump into anything else, fantastic interview, Adam. I still haven't listened to it yet.
As of recording right now, Mark's not listened to it. But again, appreciate you.
I opened the file, made sure it was actually audible, and I was like, okay, it sounds fine. Yeah.
It's fine. It was good. I made sure
it sounds good.
I made sure it sounded good. Made sure I was actually holding my phone like close to my face and close to Dion.
So before we get to this,
again, thank you so much, Dion, for taking some time.
Sure. Dion's not going to listen.
No, he's
Fuck
not.
Dion. No, I don't know.
Wow! He was really nice.
I'm just doing that.
He was really nice.
Shit. So before we get we're not going to talk
something I need to talk to you about after, but
afterward. Okay,
yeah.
Sure. First of all, I want to say that FFG, I believe they released a date or a time frame for more point changes.
Yes, they announced that there's going to be a live stream on the 25th of June to talk about the points change.
Which is soon.
But with that, we were also supposed to get Wave 4 on June 6th. As of today, it is June 8th. It
came out other places, but not here.
Mistakenly.
Oh, did it mistakenly?
There was an email sent locally today, and it was sent out, and I sent it to one of the groups. But this was communicated by somebody on an Asmodee. Howdy, y'all. This isn't a great announcement. There's been some confusion in regard to the X-Wing Wave 4 release date. Asmodee had initially listed the release date as June 6 on both their public-facing website and their private communication with us. Again, this is most likely a supplier or a local store that's gotten communicated with Asmodee. Sure. With us, LPG and other Australian distributors have shipped stock of X-Wing Wave 4 to all of you based on that date. Here's the thing. That date has changed, and LPG and Australian distributors weren't informed. This puts us in a situation, so clearly this is an Australian distributor. Mm-hmm. This puts us in an unfortunate situation where all of you have the stock of X-Wing Wave 4 in your stores, but the release date for the product is now the 11th of July. We've communicated with Asmodee, and they've asked us to inform you all that the new release date of the new release date and to stop selling Wave 4 until the release date of 11th of July. So they have stock. Australia has the stock. They sold some, but now has to take it off shelves again and not sell it until July 11th. I know most of you have already sold a bunch of the stock. We sent you no problems there, but from now on, please quarantine the remaining stock until the official release date. Apologies to you all for mucking you around like this. Again, very Australian. A form email will be sent to all stores that have received the Wave 4 stock. So. Big clusterfuck.
Sure. So I've been thinking about this. I've been wondering if it's related to the tournament kits being delayed indefinitely. So I'm wondering if there was a mistake in the factory or shipping or something. So they're like, okay.
People were thinking that there was a rumor going around that I heard about that apparently there were the initial wave of ships were painted terribly and they wanted to redo it. Or something like that, or people are just thinking maybe a boat sank, or they lost a shipment.
I doubt a boat sank, because I think that would have made news more than anything.
I agree, but the other logical explanation is just the fact that there's some trade issues going around with the United States right now.
Yeah.
There's all the new tariffs and stuff that the current administration in the United States has enforced, so that's causing some issues and delays. That seems like a logical explanation.
Sure. I mean, none of us will ever find out what's causing it.
100%.
But something is weird in the supply chain. Yep. Australia got it ahead of or got it released there early.
When it was supposed to get released, but no one had communicated up to that point that there was supposed to be a new release date. That had not been communicated with the public, so everyone was just very confused.
Yeah.
But...
so, someone has done some unboxing. I didn't watch those videos to see exactly everything that's in it. But we have some leaked cards.
Yep.
That was from 2 days ago.
There's some immediate diaper filling, which is the best part.
Mainly on the FFG forums.
Which is mostly diaper filling anyway. Come at me, FFG forums. Fight me, bitches.
Sure.
Again, all of this you have to take with the fact that we don't have points. We have no idea what these things are going to cost. On the surface level, some of these cards might seem really good, but we don't know what points are.
Okay, so first we have Resistance Crew. Limited, because it's Holdo.
Yep.
The purple-haired Laura Dern from Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Think of the name of the movie for a second.
Which gave us one of the more badass shots in Star Wars.
God, it was such a good moment. So that moment, okay, side tangent.
Oh my
that moment
God,
made me
no.
think of when I was seeing X-Men Last Stand, the third one. Is that Last Stand?
Yes.
So I was seeing that in theaters. Is it Last Stand or the second one where the goal of the movie? Oh, I think it's the second movie to control Xavier.
I don't know.
Anyways,
dude.
I just remember the
I haven't
shot
seen those movies in a
of Professor
while.
X being in the little
In
Cerebro, and then they're trying to go save him because he's about to destroy all the mutants in the world.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the second movie.
I think it's the second
'Cause, yeah, Nightcrawler was in it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's in that scene, and I think like the doors open, and then all of a sudden like audio cuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like awesome, like tense moment. They're cutting audio, like this is dramatic, and then people start talking, and it's like, oh no, we lost audio in the theater. Right? So just they cut audio there in the Star Wars thing.
At least
so made me
it
think
was
of that.
intended
Yes,
in this
and it was
movie.
really good.
But Holdo's ability is before you engage, you may choose another friendly ship at range 1 to 2. You may transfer to that ship one token of a type that ship does not have. That ship then may transfer one token to you of a type that you do not have.
I think it's gonna be really good.
It can be very good.
How many points do you think it is?
Fuck, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe I would assume like with an ability like that, double digits, like maybe 10 to 12 to start off with.
It's for a hero faction. It'll be undercosted. 6 points.
It's all 2 points. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Everything is the same cost as Leia.
Everything is Leia. It seems very good, right? And the immediate thought I think a lot of people are going online is, the disarm token removal from Poe when he does Black One and gets the disarm, remove it, and then you transfer a focus.
Well, people are talking about transferring reinforces to Poe.
Yep. That can be quite good. There's also other ways to get reinforces now, as we saw with another card.
Angled deflectors.
Angled deflectors. We'll talk about that in a minute. The next card is Leia Organa, baby.
Yeah, we got old Leia.
Old Leia.
2 crew slots.
2 crew slots, but it is obviously limited. It gives you a force, a reoccurring force.
All forces are reoccurring.
It adds a force to you and gives you a purple coordinate.
Yep.
And its ability is after a friendly ship reveals its dial, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that the chosen ship reduces the difficulty of that maneuver.
Better or worse than Rebel Leia?
I don't like if you say worse. I'm going to say worse, but I'm not saying worse because it's bad. Know what? No, I think it's better.
It's going to be costed more just solely
better.
because it gives you a force. And they've shown that force tokens
it's real good.
Cost a lot of points.
It is better. I'm going to agree with you there. It's better. Or say it's better.
And plus with Rebel Leia, you can only use it once every 3 turns.
Once every 3 turns.
But
it gives you the entire list. Anyways, the fact
undercosted
also,
2 points.
Yeah. You got to think though, because what ships in the Resistance right now has 2 crew slots?
It's probably
Falcon and the Resistance transport.
Oh, right.
That's
Falcon.
it.
I forgot about the Falcon.
And that was my first thought. I'm like, oh shit, you can put this on the Falcon. And
I don't think that's the choice you do. I think you put it on the transport.
Dude, I think you can come up with some really interesting... Imagine having Rey with 3 force tokens. Because she natively has 2. And if you put this on, you don't need the Millennium Falcon title anymore.
I guess so, yeah.
That saves you points. Although I'm assuming this is going to be fucking expensive as hell.
Wait, how many points is the Millennium Falcon title?
5.
Okay,
this will be 5 or 6,
5.
something like that.
This will be minimum 12 points.
Minimum. Okay. I agree. It should be double digits. It gives you a force, which you already know that it's a premium. It gives you the coordinate, which you know is a premium. And it's a really fucking good ability. So I think there's going to be some really interesting combinations. But again, I do expect it to be very expensive. Next card. It's another crew. A lot of crew.
These are all Resistance cards, by the way.
All Resistance. Larma Darcy? Darcy? Daisy, baby. It's Daisy. Don't stop listening, please. While you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you may perform coordinate, reinforce, or jam actions even while stressed. While you perform a white coordinate jam, or reinforce action. If you are stressed, treat that action as red.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm sure someone will make a way for it to be really good. But like something like this is just like, oh, cool. And I don't really think about combos for it.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a lot more situational. I don't think you build a list around it. It's one of those things that you
This is not something you build
if
a
you
list
have
around,
points.
for sure.
If you want to know who Larma Dace Darcy is, she's a stern-looking woman who just looks worried and stern at computer screens all the time.
She does have lines in Last Jedi.
Does she?
Yep.
I don't fucking remember a single one.
She, I believe, is part of Poe's little mutiny.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know.
We got Coruscant.
Coruscant, baby.
Who's she even?
She is, I think...
She's just like, in the card, she's like, what do you want from me?
The actress from that, I think, is... I can't remember. I can't quite place her, but I know I've seen her and stuff.
The picture makes it look like she has a bad spray tan.
Jesus.
Racist. How's that racist?
Racist.
It just looks like a spray, like it's a little reddish. Like it could be the picture, but
Sure. It's after you fully execute a blue maneuver, remove all of your stress tokens.
that's pretty good.
So you pair it with
Larma.
Larma.
Throw them together.
And then the last one that they show card of is PZ4C0.
Say that again.
PZ4C0.
Thank you.
Sorry. Whatever.
Canada, baby!
Canada, baby.
Part of the Commonwealth.
At the end of the activation phase, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1 to 2. If you do, transfer one calculate token to that ship. If your revealed maneuver is blue, you may transfer one focus token instead. Not bad.
Sure.
Just, again, another decent support droid.
Angled deflectors. It's not on here, but you seem to remember what it was.
Tons of people were talking about it. So the angle deflectors, I'm just remembering, you lose one shield because it's in one of the things. It's you lose one shield and you gain a reinforce action. It's a small and medium base only. You have to do angle deflectors 2.0. Posted Thursday. Spoil for angle deflectors. You can now put blah blah ream. So, but the ship has to have one agility or more, I think.
Here it is. -1 shield. Small or medium ship. Shield value of 1 or more.
There you go.
And it gives you a reinforce.
Yes. So you can put reinforce on small and medium base ships. My first thought was, hey, maybe Poe. That was like maybe Poe could do it. Obviously, points will.
I don't think that's the right choice.
I don't think that's the right choice either. I'd rather just put like a shield upgrade or a sense.
What's this art from? We've had this art before.
Oh, you're right, and I can't remember.
It's of a TIE First Order pilot.
Is that a First Order pilot? No, it's all black. He's all black.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a regular TIE
That's
pilot.
a regular.
I look at the helmet. It's a good helmet.
Oh, God. I like the rest.
Okay, so if that's the case, which TIE pilot do you put it on who has a shield? You put it on the TIE Advanced? Or TIE Advanced Prototype? Don't think you put it on the Prototype.
No.
TIE Advanced? No. Reaper?
People's obviously initial
Reaper
worry, I
might be
think,
good.
is you put it on a B-Wing, and you give a B-Wing
Sure.
a fucking reinforce. Because, like, Jesus Christ. And people obviously concerned with Rebel, combining that with Rebel Beef, right?
Yeah. I'd have to look at points, but like Reaper might be interesting.
Could be interesting. Why not, right? I mean, that would make the Reaper really hard to kill.
Do you... It's a mod slot.
It's a mod. Well, you don't put anything else in the mod slot.
No, I'm just trying to think about like other ships that can take it. Who has 2 mod slots? Kirax?
Kirax, yep.
Put a shield upgrade and this on a Kirax.
Again, all those
Oh, no.
ships like a Kirax, I think you want to be spending those actions on other things.
No, yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm trying to think what a reinforce is good on. Someone has a bunch of math here.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Again, it's really good on 1 of 8 1 dice ships, 0 dice ships. It's really good on as well. 2 dice ships, it gets less good. 3 dice ships, what's the point?
So, moving on.
Moving on.
We played a game today. We have a list sent in.
What are your thoughts before we get
about
to
all
that?
these
But all those
leaks.
Obviously, I think there's some more leaks we can talk about in those videos.
Probably. I don't care.
Do you
enough
want to walk through them?
No, I don't care enough to look through it right now. Here's the thing: we'll talk about it later.
Sure.
Without the points, I just don't feel like talking about it without points right now.
I totally get it. It's just you're like, I don't give a
Well, plus,
fuck.
you're trying to play a game with Nick later.
It's fine.
So.
All good. But yes, we got a list.
We got a list sent in from Timothy. Oh, shit, what word?
Should we be saying his last name either?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably not. Tim, thanks, bud. No one look him up.
Hey, I'll bleep out that.
Yeah.
See what I'll do.
No, we don't know where he's from.
He's from Australia.
Motherfucker! Come on, Mark.
Dude, we have someone listening us from Australia. We gotta shout that
Sure.
out. Another country, part of the Commonwealth.
Part of the Commonwealth. They say Zeds.
Do they? I don't know.
Fucking know.
If you say Z or Z in Australia, let us know.
But he sent us a
He
list
sent
to
us
try.
2 lists.
Oh, yes.
First order lists.
We tried one today.
Yes, which I had lost my first order stuff. And by lost, I throw that on big air quotes. Because I looked all over where I thought they would have been. And then I was looking through like my modeling and painting stuff. And they're just sitting in a bag, in a box I go through all the time. I just wasn't looking for them when I looked through it.
Mark.
So I just kind of ignored it.
Oh, Mark.
Anyways, whoops. So he sent us 2 lists. We tried one
Today.
We'll probably do another one for next week.
I just I played just the double Aether Sprite torrent list just because that's what I had with me.
And so the list I did was 3 Omega Squadron experts with Special Forces Gunner and Lieutenant Tabson naked, which is 200 points total.
And Mark 1.
Oh god,
107.
I think this is my first time playing
7?
First Order.
107 to 77. That was the end. That was the final.
Sure. Okay.
Because I didn't end up killing Towson.
Yeah, you got half points on Tabson and killed one. And no half points on the other one.
I had some unfortunate dice throughout the game, but again, I definitely could have done some stuff to position myself better.
Here's the thing, Adam. That's my first time playing First Order, I believe, in 2.0. That's a lot of shields and hull to chew through.
Man, I didn't realize that I didn't, for whatever reason, I don't know, I'm an idiot, but the fact that the
SFs have 3
SFs
shields.
have 3 shields.
Yo, dog, Quick Draw has 3 shields. Where do you think that? What chassis do you think Quick Draw's on?
I know. That's why I went we're both idiots. You couldn't find your First Order stuff, and I didn't know that they had 3 shields. But yeah,
it's a good list.
It's 4 ships. Towson doing Towson things.
I think I could have won harder than I did because I didn't rotate my arcs.
Sure.
There was 2 or 3 times where I'm like, fuck, if I rotate my arcs, I would have great shots on you right now.
Well, and there was also, and then there was multiple turns where I was getting 2 to 3 hits, and you were naturally evading them.
The first turn I rolled a lot of natties.
You rolled a lot of natties, and the supplement.
You caught up pretty good.
I caught up, but again,
you had a range 3 shot onto my FO, the one you killed. It had 3 hull left. Range 3 shot, you rolled 3 hits, and I just blanked out with all 3.
Yes.
So
finally got him.
I know, I was choked. I was like, come on, really? I should have rolled at least one evade.
My engagement with the torrents also wasn't ideal, because when I come up the side, was going straight, and I did straight 2 forward barrel roll, and I could have done another 2 forward and barrel back to the right, and you turned in, which would have given me, both torrents would have been behind you.
So, for my position, Adam set his torrents up in the top left, Anakin on the top right, and Mace in the middle.
Yep.
And then I set up my Upsilon bottom left, and my 3 FOs in the middle. And so I just
and like
moved
a
forward.
box formation.
Yeah, kind of. So I had the Upsilon goes forward, and you moved forward with your torrents. I assumed you were going to move forward, and then you were either going to too hard for first turn and follow your Aether Sprites, or you were going to 1 forward then too hard. I'm surprised you kind of tried jousting in with them, because they roll 2 dice. I didn't think that they were going to do a ton of damage on the Upsilon. I thought they should have probably gone after the First Order.
Just in terms of I'll tell you my idea as to why I did that. Is the mistake I made was barreling in again. I went forward and then barreled in again closer to the middle, which reduced where I could go, and you did the 3 banking and committed. If I hadn't done that, I'd just gone straight. I would have been at your side and behind you.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to do with the shuttle, so basically it was, I'm just going to run in with a 3 bank, and I'm going to be hitting a lot of debris clouds for a while, but it's the fastest way I can get it to potentially block or mess with your Jedis.
Sure.
So that's the reason. I kind of didn't take your torrents into consideration for many of my maneuvers.
And again, I put myself in a position where that made it very easy for you, right?
Yeah, because they got behind me.
Well, and
one of them got in front of me, but like you move first, and I can kind of plan around what you're doing.
Yeah, and I got the other. I put the.
They don't have the best.
I was
styles.
happier with my. I was happy with my Aether Sprite play with the Jedi. How I flew them.
I don't think you flew Anakin very well. I think he was too far out. I think he. Okay, here's the thing.
Not really.
The problem is he was far out for the initial engagement. Like
you also got some lucky. You got all my shields and a hull on the range 3.
I think you cut in. So you should have either come in harder with Anakin and K turned behind.
I could not have come in any harder with Anakin.
I think you could have.
Other than putting myself, because if I think about it, from that after that, because I did a 5 forward boost barrel roll. Mm-hmm. If I had come straight at you again, I would have had all of your ships range 1 of me.
So, this is hard to visualize, but like, I'm closing my eyes and I think about the game, and I think about there is an asteroid to the bottom right of my ships, which are banked towards the right, towards where your Jedis are coming from. Mm-hmm. Mace was coming down the center, and Anakin was kind of going towards the rock and could either go barrel roll to his right to go straight towards my FOs, or go to his left and kind of go around the rock, and you chose to come in towards my guys. I think you should have gone out and try to get behind that way.
I could have done that either way.
No, I know. That's what I was expecting you to do, and you didn't do it.
And
I had like a perfect box set up after that.
Sure.
And I think that really fucked you.
Well, and it's also the fact that I think the 3-4 boost in with Mace was that boost was a mistake. Because it put him in a weird position in the middle of 3 gas clouds where I didn't really have I didn't give myself a lot of space to maneuver.
Sure.
I definitely made some mistakes. I realized, sorry, I was leaning away from the mic. I didn't put myself, again, good. It was a good game. It could have been closer, more time. Mark slow played me near the end.
I did not.
But yeah, no, again, we were chatting about it afterwards. I think going forward, because Rebel Beef and Phantoms are going to get nerfed to shit. Everyone knows this. Like, 100%.
Probably.
I think First Order is going to have some room to be successful here.
Okay, Upsilons will probably go up, or majority, or...
Yeah, maybe.
I think at least a couple of them okay, I think the generics will, just to stop the double Upsilon Kylo.
Probably.
Is that just 2 generics, or is that Tavs?
No, it's Tavs and
a generic. Okay, so Tavs and generic will probably go up. Mm-hmm. Maybe even not by much, just enough to kill that list.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna they go up by a ton. No. But I think there's gonna be some room for First Order to be really successful here coming up.
We'll see.
Considering
I'm not sold. I like SFs. I like Upsilons. I guess Kylo's fine, but like aside from Kylo, I don't think silencers are that great.
Blackout's good.
Okay.
Blackout's good.
As long as you have trick shot, basically.
I mean, yeah, but blackout trick shot.
And then I think just regular First Order TIE fighters are garbage.
Yeah, not great.
I think they're overcosted.
I think I'd agree there. They're probably a little overcosted. So maybe they address that. Who knows? But I still think there's a core there for First Order that they have room to be very successful.
Yeah. I like this list a lot, though. I really like it.
What if you didn't have Tavson in there? What would you replace it with?
But still have 3 SFs?
Yes.
Tavson was,
because he's 60-something points?
Yeah.
So he has 60-something points to put...
He's 62, they're 46 each. I could fit in, Quick Draw, maybe.
Really? How much is... Quick Draw is more expensive than that, is he not? Let us check.
Oh, God. All right, Adam, talk about some bullshit while I make this list.
Well, again, like I said, I think Resistance is going to be in a weird spot because A-Wings are 300% going up. There's very clearly things in the meta right now where you can point and say that's going to change, that's going to change. Resistance A-Wings being part of that. So I think Resistance is going to be in a weird spot. I don't know if these new crew cards and the Resistance transport help them a whole ton. I'd like to see Resistance bombers get some play. I still don't own one, actually, now that I think about it. But I think there's room there for them to see some play. but I don't think the Resistance has a ton to really put forward past that. Again, we'll have to see. First Order, I think, is going to be in a good position to be successful because it's got some good tools. Rebel is pretty consistent. I like my 4K wings and all that bullshit. Empire, Empire's Empire. I think it has some good tools right now as well with Vader, Soontir, and Vinder, and Jendon. Like, it has some options. And then if you're looking at Separatists, I think Separatists is probably the worst off because their only real list that I feel would feel threatened by looking across the table is the double Infiltrators and then maybe 6 Vultures and Watt.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly haven't played against a ton of Separatists.
Other than
I still
when
think
I first did it.
I still think Vulture Droid swarms are still very good.
Oh yeah.
So do you think energy shells are going to change? Because I think energy
I don't
shells
think
are
they're
really good.
I don't think they need to.
All right, so
again, they're only good on one platform.
With the 3 Omega Squadron experts with Special Forces Gunner title, or no, I got Gunner upgrade.
Sure.
I can also do Quick Draw with Special Forces Gunner and Shield upgrade and be at 199. I don't know if Shield upgrade is the right choice. Drop Shield upgrades at 193, and if you want that 7-point bid, you might want it.
I think there's some stuff you can do there, like fire control.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
shield upgrades like the obvious,
or
like
advanced optics,
the generic choice to throw on Quick Draw.
Advanced optics, maybe.
I can mess around with it, but
yeah,
it's definitely a list to do.
I think there's something there.
I don't have enough Special Forces ties to do that. I'd have to buy more.
Yeah,
I'd have to buy one more. I think I own 3.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I own 2 or 3.
I mean, I might have one. I can give you.
How do you have one?
I might have bought it for 1.0 for just because they might have had a card when they were doing that. So where there was like specific cards I had to buy. And then as well, Republic. As long as I don't know what's going to happen with the Jedis and Torrents and stuff. Like that is the list, and then I think all the name Torrents are terrible because they're overpriced. Most of the name Arcs aren't great, and their abilities are some pretty convoluted to try to tick off or to try to activate. But Republic getting N1s, I think there's definitely going to be some space for them to be pretty good. I don't know if honestly, I don't think the Hyena Bombers really do much to move the needle.
I haven't really looked at Hyenas too much, so I can't really comment on those. I think the Naboo's are going to be very good.
Yep.
I think they're going to be better than you think they're going to be. We'll see how it pans out.
I think they're going to be good. I just don't think they're going to be meta-breaking.
I won't say meta-breaking, but I think they're going to be potentially top tier.
I can see them being A, for sure.
I really like them. I think their mechanics are super cool.
I pre-ordered 2.
I think you should get 3, but personally,
I was trying not
Decimator's
to
coming back. I don't know.
Decimator's coming back. We'll see.
Tybant's Prototype's coming back. Don't know.
Ghost.
Sure. Ghost. Sure. I don't know.
There were some interesting lists people were talking about in Seattle that were like Hera plus.
Yeah. Okay.
That seemed to be decent, but
I kind of just ignore any faction that's not First Order.
Of course you do.
Empire. So I'm really bad at thinking about stuff for those.
Well, I mean that's why I think it's a good balance for the podcast because you
play every other faction.
I play every other faction that you don't. Right?
Sure.
And you play every faction that I don't.
So do you want to talk about hypothetical what's going to get nerfed?
Before we do that, shout out to EA for having a very underwhelming presentation.
No, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Oh, okay.
We'll end with that because we'll talk about actual X-Wing related stuff, and then people want to keep listening to us talk about
fair enough
other bullshit.
There's the big things that people like Quad Phantoms gonna get nerfed.
Probably.
Rebel Beef in some form.
Wait, how will they nerf 4 Phantoms? Is it Juke or is it the chassis?
I think probably both, to be honest. I think probably both.
Likely? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't want Juke to change too much.
I've been telling people this. I've been saying this to a lot of people lately, and I feel like just what we've seen so far in FFG's history with the points changes, specifically in 2.0, is we're seeing if something's been in the meta, in a top tier in the meta for a while, they just, even if it's maybe an overcorrection, they just price it out for a while. Just say, fly other shit.
Yeah.
Just do something else. Even, like, Juke may go up just for the sake of everything. There's been a ton of Juke so far. Like, I want to put Juke on those N1s. 100%. But am I going to pay, like, do I want to pay, like, what if they make it 10 points? just to say fuck you.
Juke will not be 10
No,
points.
of course.
I'll say that much.
It's 4 points now, right?
Yeah.
So-
Is it 4? 3 points?
It's 3 or 4, something like
Fuck,
that.
I don't know. I
But,
should look it
like,
up.
What if they make it, again, hypothetically, what if they make it 10 points?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, what do you no one's going to fly it at that point. So I think they'll just look at things and say, we want other things to go into the meta. So we
Juke's
just
5 points.
5 points. So fuck it. They could increase it 5 points. You don't know.
No, I think at most they'll bump it up by 1.
Maybe.
I think that's the most they would do to it.
Sure. But again, I think they're just saying, cool, Phantoms have been good since day one. Day one.
Yeah.
Like, they have always been good. So they probably price it out for a little bit.
We'll see.
The interaction between Braylon and Cassian is what makes the Rebel beef list functional.
What gets nerfed there in that list?
Probably.
Other than Leia. Other than Leia.
Yeah, I mean, Leia's obvious. And we already talked about that. We think we both said 6 to 8 points. I mean, 8 points, going back up to 8 points would probably be what I would prefer.
I don't think it needs to go up all the way. I think it's like a Luke thing where
Right.
Luke was 29 to start? Or he's 30?
32 or 30 or 32, something like that.
And that he's 20-something now?
26, 20...
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Leia started at 6, you said? Or started at 8? Dropped down to 2. I think
the middle ground at 6 makes
5
sense.
or 6.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I think the things in the list that, part of what makes it good is the interaction between Braylon and Cassian. So, B-Wings are going to go up. They 100% will. I don't know if the generics will, but 10 and Braylon will go up.
Sure.
Cassian will go up, probably not by a lot, but Cassian is by far and away the best U-Wing. By far. And it is not the most expensive. How is that? It is categorically better than Saw and Magva, and it is less expensive than both those ships. We've seen that with other things where it's not the highest initiative. Like, Rey is not the highest initiative Falcon, but she's more expensive than Han.
Yep. It's the same way with Strikers.
Yep.
Duchess is cheaper than Countdown and Pure Sabacc, but that makes sense.
Yep.
Pure Sabacc and Countdown are real fucking good.
And
I'm so happy they've started doing that, because before in 1.0, the higher initiative, like the higher pod skills were always more expensive.
Yep, no matter what.
And I'm really glad that they're changing that up. It makes sense.
So I think Cassian will go up. I'm hoping he goes up to be probably one of the more. I'm hoping he becomes one of the most expensive U-Wings because it just doesn't make sense for him not to be.
Sure.
And then I don't know if we see like TAC Officer or anything touched. I don't.
Tactical Officer. Sure.
Maybe I don't think it needs it.
Is that on that list?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it makes Cassian's coordinate white.
I don't think it needs to go up, but here's the thing: is I thought I would use it all the time, and I never do. So
on that list, it's really good. And then the other piece that's really good on that list is Swarm Tactics.
I think
Swarm Tactics.
Either Swarm Tactics should either go up, become limited, or FAQ it that you can't chain them.
Sure. Maybe, or
I mean that even that list doesn't chain them, but the fact that you can chain them, I think is kind
there's
of
a TIE Swarm that I saw that had 2 to 3 Swarm Tactics.
I think there's 3 of them on that list.
That's stupid.
And it makes everyone a 6.
5 to 6.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's
so stupid. It's such horseshit.
I don't think it should work that way.
So fuck that noise. So that probably gets addressed as well. I don't think Wedge needs to be touched. Wedge is not the problem. I think Wedge is totally fine where he's at.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm actually okay with Swarm Tactics being chained.
I'm not.
In certain circumstances. For something like a TIE Swarm, where it's thematic, for a squad leader to be like, alright, everyone fire now, fire on my command.
That's not what that is, though.
Well, think about the name, Swarm Tactics.
Sure.
That's what they're trying to do with it.
Out of a 6 ship list, 5 to 6 ship list, you have 3 shooting at 6.
I think that you can only fit. I think that list is only 4 ships.
No, it's more than that. It's I saw it the Iden Swarm is I think 5. Yeah. So again, I think I'm hoping it goes up. Again, Wedge. Don't think he needs to go up.
What are you doing?
I think the cat's walking around. Paul, we might lose you guys.
No, they won't. We won't be cut out, but he'll just not fit around.
But yeah, Wedge I think is fine.
Hey,
I don't think he needs to change. And then other stuff in Rebels. To be honest, I fly K-Wings, and I hate saying this. I think the K-Wings the generics could probably go for a bit of a bump. Miranda and however the fuck you pronounce that other one's name. Aseji, whatever the fuck it is.
Do you think the name ones go down, generics go up?
I mean, I'd like to see Miranda played a bit more, so maybe she goes down. But the generics at 37 points are too cheap.
Do you think Barrage Rockets are too cheap?
No, I don't think so. I think Barrage Rockets are fine, because I think if you price them up a little bit, you price them out of play anymore. Yeah. There's only 2 lists that take it.
Sure.
Bombers and K-Wings. That's the only things that take it.
Speaking of, do you think Soontir and Vader get touched?
I don't
Here's the thing.
I don't think they need to.
Here's my thoughts. Vader, Soontir, Whisper is a really good list.
Sure.
I think they want people to stop playing Phantoms, so they're going to bump Whisper up.
Probably.
Do they bump Whisper up enough to make that list unplayable, or do they bump all those ships up by 1 or 2 points to make the list unplayable that way?
I didn't think about it that way. I was just thinking about individually, because I think Vader is fine where he is. If you're comparing it just that one list, maybe.
So I think about that, and then I also think about Vader, Soontir, 2 Bombers. That list is 199 points.
Yeah, it's real good.
The way it's built. So...
It's very good. I think it can be...
Do Bombers change? I think Bombers stay the same.
Yeah, I don't think Bombers aren't an issue. Like, they're fine.
Yeah. I could see either those ships going up a bit, or maybe... I'm trying to think what upgrade. Yeah, I know. Pizza likes to lick texture, so he's just licking the curtains right now. He does this all the time. Anyways,
Pizza.
Anyways,
He's a special case.
I think that's basically all we need to talk about.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
mean, we hit the big major beats. So, I mean, we're getting the update on June 25th. We won't get the new ships until the 11th. And then hyperspace, we can talk about that real briefly. We have 2 more hyperspaces in Vancouver. Magic Stronghold is in August.
Magic Stronghold's August, and Nerd Haven is in October, I believe.
There's a tournament next weekend, I believe, in Abbotsford.
Nerd Haven?
Nerd Haven or something.
I won't be going.
Board Game Warrior or something like that. I might go, just depending if I can grab a ride. But I also, honestly, I might just take a break, because there's really no point in playing anything until
This
points
is
come out.
the first time I played a game since Hyperspace.
And we really wanted to try that guy's list for him. He sent us 2, so maybe we can get another game.
No, I'm going to play the other one. Yeah, I'll probably just take a break until points come out.
I'm still very excited for everything. I'm very active. I'm list building in my head, but maybe just take a couple weeks off.
So.
I don't. Maybe I should actually go outside and interact with
You got Mario
people.
Maker 2 to play when that comes out at the end of this month.
That's true, Mario Maker 2. So this is, by the way, this is the end of X-Wing. We've covered a lot. That's 58 minutes of hashtag content.
There's a little bit more than that because there's the interview to throw.
So like an hour and 5 of hashtag content.
Hashtag content. Let's talk about Jedi Fallen Order reveal.
So that got real.
So okay, also, if you want to stop listening. Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya. Send us emails. seaskypodcast@gmail.com. If you have questions, whatever, fuck it.
Lists.
Send us anything.
If you want to tell Mark he sucks.
Yeah, if you want to just
want to tell
harass
me I
us,
suck.
That's fine.
We clearly don't get enough internet hate.
Sure.
We need more. Our
if
egos
you-
are getting too big.
If you
guys.
think we're cool, don't talk to us. It's not who we are.
So
Jedi Fallen Order was super underwhelming.
yeah, they showed 13 minutes of gameplay from a mission where you're obviously, if you're wanting to avoid spoilers, don't listen. But they showed 13 minutes of a mission where you're rescuing Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
Is that what I wasn't even paying attention to? What the
You're on Kashyyyk.
story was?
Special appearance from Saw Gerrera.
At first, I was like, "Is that the actual voice actor?
is.
Is it?
It is.
Because as he talked more and more, I was like, that can't be him because it sounds nothing like
It is, because he also voiced it on Rebels, and he sounded the exact same on Rebels. He can't. They brought him back before to do voice acting. There's 100% they brought him back to do voice acting for this game. They need this game to be a hit, so they're like, let's.
They're
bring back-
really trying to push Saw as a character, and I don't give a fuck about Saw Gerrera.
He's whatever.
I
was
can't
interesting in the movie.
run anymore. Why not? Why?
Let's.
Why just give up? Why not keep fighting to the last?
Rogue
breath?
One is amazing, and I will fight you to the end on that.
Rogue One is the worst non-prequel
It's
Star
so
Wars
good.
movie.
I love that movie.
I thought Solo and Last Jedi were better than Rogue One.
I like Rogue One better than Jedi.
That's
Jedi.
fine. But do you like it more than Solo?
Yes. I had more fun with Solo, but I like the movie better with Rogue One, I think.
Sure. We're not getting into this discussion.
Anyways, Fallen Order again. 13 minutes of gameplay of just you kind of walking around, pushing stuff with the Force, and
so immediately when he does the Force push of the first thing, the doors kind of like split open really hard.
Yeah,
like the metal bends really hard. I was like, okay, so how strong is this Force? Because in the movies, they've never shown the Force to no one has the Force that strong in the movies in a way.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, aside from like prequel stuff,
but also remember those things that he blasted open were like battered. And
no, I understand that, but like
shit.
think about any time in the like real Star Wars movies when they show the Force.
This is canon.
I don't freaking care. It's canon. I believe they said Force Unleashed was canon at the time of those came out too.
Sure.
But just like it felt too easy for him to blow those things open. Like normally with the Force, it's like stop, kind of like focus into it.
Sure.
Dragon Ball Z powering up Kamehameha-esque kind of thing. I know it's not that extreme, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like they have to concentrate rather than walk up, push. Okay, this thing gets blown open.
And I mean, they also showed off some new abilities. New Force abilities that Mark was very confused about.
Okay, I wasn't confused. Okay, so he does a Force power where he chooses like an object or he chooses stormtroopers and he chooses this rotating thingy, and he can use his Force power on it to make it slow down. It just slows it down. And I'm like, that doesn't feel lore appropriate to me.
It feels mechanic appropriate.
It feels. The second I looked at it, I was like, oh, I see. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're playing Baldur's Gate and you're like, or Final Fantasy, be like, I'm going to cast slow on you.
Yeah.
Or
they've introduced similar concepts. Mark was very not agreeing with me on this, but they introduced something similar with Kylo's ability to hold people and stop blasts of like gun blasts or whatever, plasma blasts in midair.
I feel because like the thing that he stops it and I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. The fact that he's like Zaza and then.
Zaza. The fuck is wrong with you?
Jazz hand. He jazz hands it, and then it just slows down.
It slows down to a almost stop.
No, I don't think it's anywhere close to being an almost stop.
What? What is wrong?
It's just like it slows down, but like
it's basically a stop, dude.
I disagree.
Watch the trailer again.
I will watch.
It's essentially a stop.
I'll never watch that trailer again.
It's essentially a stop because he was basically stopping, and if they're moving like extremely slow.
No, I think you're giving it too much.
I watched it with my own fucking eyes.
I understand that. I did too. I don't like it was. Whatever.
He a wheel that was spinning literally stopped. He stopped it and he walked through it.
He kept moving. He kept rotating
extremely slowly, and he walked through it.
I would not call that extremely slowly.
We're going to disagree on that one.
That's fine.
I think you clearly weren't paying attention.
Okay, well, send us emails. Tell us who you agree with.
Yeah. But anyway, again, it's only 13 minutes of gameplay. Mark I was saying earlier the fact that like this was their chance to be like this is the game, get excited.
Well, they've been like. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a Star Wars fan in me that was hyping it up.
Sure.
But the second they showed it, I was like, oh, it looks just like every other Jedi Knight game.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sure.
They didn't really do much
nothing they did
blow
wow
my
me.
sock. Yeah.
And here, okay, this is aside the point.
Yeah.
Again, they're showing off the thing. So he does the Force pull on the first. There's like a stormtrooper guy who has. He's like basically the mid boss before an Inquisitor.
Sure.
He's a stormtrooper with like a shock.
Yeah.
Double-sided shock baton thingy.
I can't remember what they're calling them, but
whatever. And they're like, you created it! And they're like trying to hype that up. I was like, who the fuck cares? But anyways, he does a Force pull on it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, because he puts his thing down to stop himself from being pulled, but if you hold it long enough, he still goes, but then he counters you because he's trained to fight Jedi users, or
I like
Force
that.
users. I thought it was great, until he did a second time against the next one he ran into. I was like, bitch, you already know that doesn't work. Why would you try it again?
It was a poor demo.
I know.
It was a poor demo. It does look like there's obviously going to be an emphasis on dodging. It's not just going to be button mashing. That's the impression I got. I think Mark's a little more skeptical on that.
I'm very skeptical because just watching it felt like I was just watching Jedi Knight or Force Unleashed again.
Sure, and I hope it's not. If it's that, I'm going to be very disappointed. I personally didn't enjoy the Force Unleashed games.
I liked the first one a lot.
I thought they were super fucking easy and mind-numbing to play.
You should play Jedi Knight. Play all the Dark Forces. They're great.
I did play some Jedi Knight. I remember...
Which one?
The very first one.
Dark Forces Jedi
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah.
Is it Dark Forces Jedi Knight?
Something like that. I can't remember. But anyway.
Dark Forces, Dark Forces 2.
Reading, there's a Game Informer, 14-page spread about this game where they died because they went to the offices and talked about the game and mechanics and all of it. So I'm going to read that tonight. But apparently the influences of the game were Dark Souls, obviously, and Metroid Prime. That's what.
Sure.
That's where they say they got the influences
Metroid
for this
Prime.
game, or Metroid, something about Metroid. That's where they said they got the influences for the heavily influences by those games for this game. So Dark Souls, I feel like they're heavily influenced for the parrying and dodging aspect of it all. That's where I saw that, because there were some very clear moments where he was actively dodging.
Sure. I'll wait to see the game once HUD's on the screen and everything.
I'm curious how much HUD, if that, because that was very minimalist.
There was nothing, no HUD on it at all.
Really?
I don't think there was.
I couldn't remember.
So because obviously they don't show health bar, they don't show
No,
there's
there was a health bar.
Was
on the
there?
screen.
Oh, there was a health bar.
Bottom left.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it looked like there was maybe similar to a parry meter, like there is in Sekiro.
See, I was looking for something okay, this is beside the point. So this is how I want them. My problem with most Star Wars games, every Star Wars game, is lightsabers don't feel like lightsabers. But you can pull this exact same complaint into Dark Souls and all these other games where you're hitting people with swords, and you're like, how you or first person shooters, how are you surviving so many headshots?
Yeah,
because
it's a game.
It's a game. I get it, but so in Jedi Knight 3, I know you could do this there. I'm sure you could do it in the other ones. There was a cheat you could enter in that made dismemberment possible, and I think it just one hit killed most enemies, and limbs would come off. It was fucking awesome.
Well,
but
yeah.
So with this game, I would like for them to do more like Sekiro, where when you hit people, it hits it weakens their stamina, and it's not until you bring that down all the way that you can hit them to reduce their health. The fact that they have a health bar and you're chipping away at that, if they shown or explaining whatever, that's. I mean, I guess that you can't show that it's not a health bar because it shows damage being on them. But if it was a stamina bar, you weaken down, and then once that was down all the way, you could kill them.
And part of for me, what I like about the Souls games, like Sekiro as well, it's the mini bosses and bosses have health bars, but the main enemies don't. Correct?
No, they all have health bars.
Do they?
Yeah. So that health bar thing, that's only in Sekiro. Dark Souls, everything has health bars. The way it works in Sekiro, they have a health bar and a stamina bar, but as soon as you deplete their stamina bar, a hit will take out an entire health bar. Okay. So bosses will have 2 health bars. So you can do that, but the problem is you want to weaken their health too, because that will make their stamina recharge slower.
Okay.
So there's a balance to taking down health bars versus stamina.
And I will say, so Greg Miller hosted the panel. A lot of people didn't like him.
I used to be a fan of Greg Miller, Kind of Funny, but I don't want to say sellout because I know he's not, but he's definitely.
I hate that term.
I know. No, he's an entertainer. He's not he's an entertainer first and foremost.
He's not a games journalist.
He's not a games journalist, and he's very much
he doesn't pretend to be a games journalist.
No, I know, I understand that, but he's very much like the IGN style of entertainer, where it's hey guys, let's get hyped up and ready.
But that's his brand. And
no, I get
built
that.
So it's not for you.
That
is
is not me as a person.
Sure.
So anything like that, I'm just fuck this. Sure. I just can't get into that stuff
I also,
anymore.
just disclaimer, I hate the word sellout, because I'm
I know, sellout's
people
not
have
the right
fucking
word.
bills to pay. Go fuck yourself.
No, I know. The word sellout's stupid.
And stop being so fucking entitled that you think that people should do shit for you for free and put out products for free. Eat a dick. Sorry, small aside. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Heath Ledger Joker.
Jesus Christ.
It's very true. If you're good at something, don't fucking do it for free.
Some people. Okay, we're not getting into this discussion now.
Obviously, there's goodwill bullshit. There's humanitarian shit. But business wise, if you're good at something, why do it for free?
Sure.
Anyways, but I will say he was talking to the devs and they didn't really answer the question. But he was I want the lightsaber to feel weighty. I don't want it to feel like I'm just waving around something that feels like I'm.
I will say, watching that demo, it felt like you were just waving it around. It felt. My problem with it, you didn't. I think it felt very arcadey because you're swiping them and you leave these giant in every Star Wars game you have that same lightsaber effect where it's black and then it's yellow around the black, and they were leaving that all over the stormtroopers. Like they have big cuts across them, and they're still being fine. I'm like, it just doesn't feel like you're hitting them.
Well, the biggest thing for me is like God of War. The axe felt awesome to hit people with.
I fucking hated the axe. I hated that game until I got the blades.
What is wrong with you?
I did not like playing. Like I was just like, fuck this.
You are the only person I've literally ever heard say that.
I've heard a couple other people say similar things, but
it's that it felt.
I understand I'm in a minority there. Probably
so good to just it. Like recalling it back the first time, I was like, fuck, that felt amazing. That God of War feels like what I would want a Thor game to feel like.
No, it's basically a Thor game.
It's essentially a Thor game. But if there was going to be a Thor game, I would want it to feel exactly like that.
Also, don't ever make a Thor game. We don't need more.
They're doing Marvel's Avengers. It's happening. Square Enix.
No, I understand that. I don't think it's going to be what people think it is. I think it's going to be create a character thing. I don't think you play as the Avengers.
They've there's already been some leaks about that you'll choose a team of 4. Apparently is what they're going with, and what the rumor is that there's going to be 4 Avengers you can choose.
We'll find out.
And you make your team
Tomorrow, Monday, when Square Enix,
whenever Square Enix. Maybe they show it off at Xbox. Does Square Enix do their own concert? Their own conference?
They do.
Who knows? But I'm interested to see what that is. But I want it to feel weighty. It didn't look weighty. Again, at the end of the day, it just was fucking underwhelming. It was just underwhelming.
Square Enix is on Monday.
Cool. We'll find out then. But it's only Saturday of E3.
E3 doesn't start till Tuesday.
First
press conferences are tomorrow.
Sure, but again, it's the E3 is now like a
the
week.
E3 weekend.
It's E3 weekend and week. But again, all these press conferences always had EA today. I still play Apex.
This isn't even EA's press conference. They're because EA is not at.
They're not doing a press conference.
Yeah, this is their own little thing outside of EA, but still in the wheelhouse.
Also, super telling that Anthem wasn't here, and they had that small little fucking live stream about a week ago.
Well, and they canceled all of their future content.
Yep.
Or they removed the roadmap.
Yep.
Yeah,
that game is not doing well.
Here's a side thing: if Dragon Age doesn't do well, does BioWare get shut down?
Probably, yeah. Because that'll be 3 in a row. That'll be Mass Effect, Anthem.
Mass Effect was a different studio, and I believe that studio already got shut down.
Well, again, just the brand of BioWare will be shot.
I think
2 major existing IPs and a new IP, and if all 3 fail, they're fucked.
I think they could potentially. I think they could keep around even if Dragon Age fails. I think if Borderlands 3 fails, Gearbox is shutting down.
Yeah, because what else does Gearbox do?
They did that MOBA third-person action game that failed, Battleborn. Were they the Battleborn people? Yeah, or something similar. There was all those games around that time.
Yeah, the hero shooters.
It was fucking stupid. And that did Gearbox buy Evolved? Did they publish Evolved?
No, it was 2K.
Yeah, but did 2K... Was that... Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think. That was a while ago. But Gearbox hasn't done anything in a while, really.
Sorry, I'm just looking for booking Evo. Don't mind me.
Anyways, video games are interesting.
Video games are interesting. And, for other things I'm excited for, I'm very excited for the Xbox conference. We're supposed to get apparently more looks, another look at Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, we'll get a trailer there. We'll get a story trailer probably. We'll get
RIP Bandai Namco. That's a big leak for them.
Which one?
Bandai Namco. Almost all their games got leaked.
Sure, whatever.
The George R. R. Martin collab got leaked.
That was leaked a while ago too.
No, but then the name got leaked. The name got leaked.
Whatever.
I don't know if maybe we don't. Actually, I doubt we see gameplay then.
Oh fuck no! God no!
Yeah,
no!
We're not seeing anything for that. It's just the name.
They're going to show off the new. Okay, do they show what the new Xbox looks like, or they just announce a name?
Mark and I had a big conversation about this last night. So
did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we did.
They're gonna announce a name. They might show sex shots. They'll briefly talk about specs.
So
50 trillion transistors.
The only reason I think that they're going to go into detail about it, the only thing because PS5 has already started. They got out a month ago and had that.
Had
that thing with
Wired.
Wired.
Wired or Verge?
Wired, I think it was Wired. But anyways, they had a conversation. They've already started talking about it, and they just had another more techie presentation a couple weeks ago. They're a month ahead of Microsoft, so Microsoft has to get something out rather than just saying, "Here's what it's called." They can't. That would be a failure. I think they'll show for me.
So I think they'll show sex shots of it, which is like black, like everything's black, and like you see like some like angled shots of it where you can see like you can see like it curves on this angle a little bit, so it's like you barely see it, but you get some glimpses at the shape of it.
Sure.
You get a name. You get fall 2020.
Yeah.
No pricing.
No.
No. I don't think they announce games, but I bet there'll be check out this games running on next gen hardware, aka running on a PC.
Yeah.
They're going to show a Forza because they want to show off cars.
No, there's no Forza.
But
no new Forza coming. That studio, they announced that there's no new Forza coming.
But not even my thing's not even announcing a Forza, but like here's tech we're running on next gen Xbox.
Well, we know we're getting Gears 5.
Well, that's coming out this year.
We know but that
okay.
Does that get shown, like Halo Infinite? Does that get shown off?
Okay, so
this year?
Here's the thing. So Giant Bomb did this because
by the way, I can't stay for much longer because Nick is now texting me asking if I'm still good.
Okay, we'll get into this later.
Yeah, like we can do a full separate episode about this after E3.
I'll say it to you as you're looking.
Cool.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.